Okay, we ran out of tape again. Sorry about that, folks. What we're going to do here is we're going to continue here and cut this out. Alright. And I'm just going to make it a tad deeper all the way around. What you want to do, once you get that a little deeper, because it's very hard to paint right up in this area here, see if I can bring that up a little closer for you. Right up in this area here, I usually round it, I just started to round it off. It gives it a little bit of a nicer look to it. So when you're done, you kind of just round it off like that. See, it looks like it's tucked right next to his head. Okay, so you want to do that all the way around. I'm going to do some of this offline because it's just a little bit easier for me to see it. But I want you to see how this is done. I did the stop cut on the bottom portion as well. Now you can do it the way I'm doing it, where you can just chip a little bit out. It's not as even as then if you took it right across, just like so. See how even that is? Okay, and if it doesn't free up, folks, you go back and recut it again. That's all you have to do. Alright, so once you get the top and the bottom, the top portion done, what we want to do here is you want to take your knife and put your stop cuts all along where you have to. Just kind of follow this out a little bit. I'll show you how to cut this out. And what you want to do is where those corners meet, like up here at the top, you want to push it in. Let me bring it up a little closer so you can see it. You want to bring it in. You want to get those corners kind of deep. Simply because if you don't, it's not gonna turn out right. Okay? So that's why I do it that way. And what you want to do is you just want to chop those out. Take the tip of your knife and just kind of slide it up in each one there, just like so. Kind of want to just blend it. You want to be careful you don't knock the tip of that scarf off. Okay? And the same thing here. When you get this done, you want to reline it again, go back underneath, cut out, and then cut your edges off. And you want to do that all the way around, just like I did here with this little one, to show you. See how I have that cut out all the way around and angled, you know, angled this way. Alright, so that's what you want to do with both of them. Thing up here is you just want to cut this out. Actually, we forgot to put the stop cut in. That doesn't help. Put the stop cut in first. That's always a plus. My goodness. Sometimes I wonder. Alright. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to follow these lines out. And we're going to do the same thing. You want to get those corners really well, if you can. Just make them a little tad deeper than what the rest of it would be. And we don't have too much further to go. And the painting really is not a huge deal on this. We're not doing any texture feathering or anything elaborate. Just something very simple and basic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just keep running this up a little bit. You want to be careful you don't hit up into here. Now that wasn't done right, so I have to go back up there and see how we have that now. It's two layered. Now I'm going to erase all that. Eventually that will all come off. Alright. Alright. And when you paint it blue, it will look just fine. Now that we have the scarf in, okay, and we want to go a little deeper here. We really want to make that pronounced, what I talked about before, tucking that underneath, like we did at the top on this one. That got a little dirty from being in the box. That's one thing with handling this stuff, folks. I had it in a box on my way home, and it had my sharpening tools in it. Not a good thing to do. The way to clean it up, I'll explain that in a minute. Try to put as much detail in this as I can. Now we're done with that portion of it. Actually, the eyes will go in. You know, if you want to kind of measure where the eyeballs are going to go, they're going to kind of go here. And about, you can look from the top and go across, you know, so kind of where it will be. And then you can mark, if you want to mark where you're going to paint it, might be a good idea for those that are not used to, you know, make sure it's somewhat even. And you go to the top of the bridge of the nose there, okay? So, alright, so that gives you an idea. Trying to think what else we need to do here. Oh, okay, we got to do his little arms here, or wings. What I do is I just measure. How I measure is with my thumb, with a finger, and just taking it and then leaning my pencil over. So let's do it from here. Okay, that's one spot. We're going to go to the other side, and we're going to do the other spot. Okay, so that should be roughly the same distance. And one way I measure a lot is with my finger and the, I see that's a little bit higher. This method I use a lot, just leaning my finger against it and holding my pencil where it needs to go, and then letting it go and following it for the other side. It's a great way to measure for a lot of things. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go maybe up to here, and we're just going to make a little curvature, just like so. And we're going to go across. We're going to figure out how far that is. Again, I'm going to measure it. Okay, right there. And it looks like it should go a little higher. Let me bring this back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to curvature that portion of it over, just like so. So that's what it should look like from the front. And the same thing holds up for the back. So you try to do it the same width. You know, I try to do it from here, and then I flip it over, and I kind of put my markings here and here, similar to what I do with the Santas. And we're just going to bring this down and around. We're going to meet that there, and we're going to meet that section there as well. Okay, maybe not so pronounced. Alright, so what we're going to do is take our knife. I'll be right back and we'll keep going.